to a character that Keanu Reeves played in the movie The Replacements. It's during the last scene. And they ask him, what do you want to do? The last quarter. It's quarter time. What do you want to do? And I love his answer. Because he says, winners always want the ball. Give me the ball. I'll run with it. And that's exactly what God wants from each of us. That we stop believing or serving in the church or wherever it is that we're serving because of what Mama said. Because we're scared. That we stop serving him because of what Grandma said. But that we start serving him, Reverend Tall, because just like Saul from Tarsus, we had a personal encounter with him. We hit that wall called Jesus Christ, hanging from the cross on Calvary, and our life was transformed and changed from the inside out. That is what he wants. And for those of us that are expecting all these shenanigans that are going on to last till kingdom come, no, it ain't gonna happen. And yes, it is not a word. It is not going to happen. And I was going to tell you why. As the Bible says, your Bible, my Bible, even the Catholic one, they all say that if those days are not shortened, even his chosen one will be lost. So this is not going to last very long. I'm not putting a time limit, but I can sure tell you it's not going to last very long. I can promise you that. And between now and the time when either God calls me home or the final trump sounds, the challenge for you and I is, what are we going to do now that it's almost the 0 hour? Back in the 70s, when the rapture was all the fad, there was a lot of preaching going around about the 10 virgins. What they did, what they didn't do, and what not. Every time something happens worldwide, in the worldwide scenario, we go back to that. And the 5 were watching and the 5 were sleeping. 5 were being diligent and the other ones were being lazy. Blaza, 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 blaza. Who cares? What we need to care about is our relationship with God. Amen. And that our relationship with God is kosher. Yes. That no matter what happens, be it that God calls us, or be it that the final trump sounds, when that moment comes, we have a direct ticket towards heaven. There is do not pass. Go, just go on straight through the pearly gates. And care for each other. Please. Please, please, please. Be nosy. Yes. Yes, be nosy. Don't be all up in people's business for the wrong reasons, I mean. But if Sister Johnson is not smiling, and she normally is smiling,
I'm pretty sure she'll appreciate if somebody goes and asks her, is everything okay? Just that simple gesture that you care can be the life-saving opportunity that God uses in a life. This past week in Puerto Rico, in the Church Disciples of Christ of Naranjito, Sunday school teacher, married for 20 years, apparently a woman of God. She left prayer meeting. This happened Tuesday. She left prayer meeting, went into the bathroom of the church, and killed herself. This is what's happening in our churches. People are hurting. Nobody's caring. We see things, we don't want to get involved. Our big logo in our church is, I am my brother's keeper. And I will be up in your business. I will, every Wednesday, it's buddy check day. We send out texts, we call, we put it on our website, we put it on our Facebook page to check up on our people to see how they're doing. And the great thing about it, Rental, is that they answer and they go, I'm okay, brother, thank you. The story of the Church Disciple of Christ in Naranjito, I was telling my wife, I don't know how they're going to get over it. I don't know. She was a Sunday school teacher for children. This is a big thing. The devil is real. The devil is wandering around like a lion. He is not a lion, but if we allow him to become a lion, he will eat us alive. Look at the blow that the gospel has received in the island of Puerto Rico with this event. The church, where there's sanctuary, where there's hope, where there's deliverance, I went and killed myself in the bathroom. It's not only a thing about looking bad, Deke. It's that where is the power of the church? Where are the gifts that the Holy Spirit, that God has promised us? Where was the gift of discernment that the angel of the church could have seen it? Or anybody? But we're complacent. We're complacent. We're happy with coming to the church, whooping and hollering for ourselves. But we don't care about the one that's sitting next to us or the one that's outside the walls. As long as I get my praise on, as long as I get my shout on, everything's well with the world. Well, let me tell you something, it ain't. Again, it is not. Last quarter of the game, the score is tied. What are you going to do? I love Pastor Ted. Pastor Ted was he was a canine handler during Vietnam. He owed his life to two of his buddies and 3 dogs. But I love Pastor Ted. Pastor Ted, he's built like a wall. I mean, he's like 6'2", weighs a couple hundred, I guess he's a little bit over the 300 pounds. He walks with a waddle because he can't bend his knees. But even when you see him coming, you're like, that's a man not to be trifled with. beautiful. I mean, he's a bear of a man. I mean, love him to death. But he has a saying, and I love it. He has a saying, Reverend Tall, and it goes, it goes that it doesn't matter how bad or how dark this chapter that I'm reading is of the book. I know the ending of the book. And in the end, we win. So, there is guaranteed victory. See, there is guaranteed victory. But there's a part that we have to do. We want it all, we gotta give it all. Everything we've got. Especially right now. I want to leave you with this little story.